Howdy folks, this is Checkers, and this is a video that's not exactly anti-E3, it's just that a lot of the time we see things during E3 presentations that we can't play. They are far out on the horizon, so I thought it might be fun to take a look at a game that you can play right now, and as a matter of fact is very cheap, and it's been around for quite a while. This is Heroes of Might and Magic 3 Complete. And in one of the very few times I will do this, at least as far as I know, I'm going to tell you about the game and tell you that this version came from a particular storefront from GOG.com, or the former Good Old Games. This is most definitely not a sponsored video. This is just me absolutely loving this game. It's a turn-based strategy game. And although Ubisoft did a kind of update version of Heroes of Might and Magic 3 to clean up the graphics, that version, which you can get at other storefronts like Steam, doesn't include the expansion packs. This version, the Heroes of Might and Magic Complete from GOG, does have all of the expansions, and that is awesome. So let's take a look at what Heroes is. And we won't go through an entire scenario, we'd be here forever, but we'll take a look at just kind of starting out here. It's a turn-based strategy game. Ooh, we're playing a race that I like. Recently ascending the throne, you've realized it would be much better if you ruled the entire world, not just a quarter of it. You're smarter, better equipped, and rule more justly than the others who are squandering their time on the throne. So this is the game window. This is where all the action takes place. This is my hero. You can also see him here. And he has an army down here at the bottom. You can see his slots right now. He has gremlins and gargoyles. He is a magi, and we can see that increases his attack and defense skills of any magi or archmagi for each level attained after 4th level. He has 44 experience, basic wisdom, which allows our hero to cast 3rd level spells, 30 spell points, and basic ballistics, which gives us control of a catapult during sieges. So basically what we do is we have our castle here. This is our settlement, our city, and we can come here as a town hall, and we can build things here. So right now, city halls increase gold per day. Castles or citadels increase our base creature generation and also our defenses. Taverns, we can hire heroes. Blacksmiths, we can get things like ballistas and catapults. Resource silos grant us resources per day. This one would give us +1 gems per day. Mage guild, we can raise to get better spells. Library, we get even more spells. Wall of knowledge increases the knowledge skill of any hero by +1, but only once. Artifact merchants, we can buy artifacts for our hero, like swords or armor or what have you. Lookout tower extends view distance around the city. Sculptor's wings gives us more gargoyles. Just lots of things to play with. This shop allows us to build gremlins. If we were to upgrade it, we would be able to make master gremlins. Parapet allows us to build gargoyles, and upgrading it would allow us to build obsidian gargoyles. Golem factory allows us to build golems, and if we upgrade it, we could make iron golems. Mage tower would allow us to make mages. So we know our character is good with mages, so we'll build that. And we see the structure show up here. We have 4 available. Alternatively, we could click on the castle and see everyone available to us right now. And we would come over here and say we want the maximum number. Grab those. We will grab our gargoyles, stone golems, and gremlins. And we can add them all to our army. And we'll probably, let's put these guys here for right now, put them there, and add those there. Because where you put these guys in this line is where they're going to show up in battle. So let's go get in a fight and see what it looks like. We'll zoom down here. There are some imps who are awed by the power of our forces. We could let them run away, but we wouldn't get any experience for doing that. So let's go get them. This is the battle window, and we're pretty far away. These guys, you can see they actually fly, so they can fly over obstacles, and they can fly to about here. If you wanted to see it, I believe we can turn on the hex grid, And you can see that they're actually traveling a certain number of hexes. I don't really like the hex grid that much, so we'll do that. And right down here we have the options to cast spells, to wait till later in our turn, or to defend, which basically gives them a defensive bonus as long as the turn runs. So we're going to wait. We want these imps to close in on our forces. The same with the mages. He's a ranged unit. If he shoots now, you'll see there's a broken arrow icon over the imps. That means he's going to do about half damage. So we'll wait and hope that they get close enough that he can do full damage. Okay, and speed is what determines which of these guys, of all the battlefield, are going to go first. These are a melee unit, and they may as well just defend. They're never going to get anywhere near these guys. We can move our golems up here to sort of be a defense for our mages. Our gargoyles are still out of range, so they go into defense. And our mage is still... Oh, see, this one has a non-broken arrow, so he'll get full damage and fire. And that symbol of the eagle's wings there means that he had high morale, so he gets to attack twice and can fire again. Now we will just... I actually don't know if this is the next turn or... So, oh, it is the next turn because we can wait again. So we'll wait again. We'll let this imp get closer. And actually, our gremlins are close enough now. 53 versus 7. Short fight. Down go all. We get 92 experience. We lost none. The defender lost 23. And now we can come over here to this mine and take it. And we now have mine resources. We have iron coming into the... or ore coming into our faction. And let's see, it'd be nice to get up there and get all of those things. This is an enemy. These are crystals, gems, gold, sulfur. That's a ring artifact right there. This is mercury. Lots of different resources. You can see them all down here at the bottom of the screen. Wood, mercury, ore, sulfur, crystal, gems, and gold. And we'll try and get back to her. Oh, it's a really tiny map. Okay, let's go over here. It looks like we have a wood mill, but we'll need to get these fellas out of the way. And they're brave fellas. So instead of just waiting, we can also take action ourselves. Let's fire a lightning bolt at the intrepid pikemen. And we killed 6. So we will have our gargoyles wait and our mages wait. And, well, let's move our gremlins down a bit so they can be more useful. We'll move our golems up a bit and defend and fire. So he only struck down 3. So we may want to help them again. We could actually slow these guys even more. Let's do that just for fun. And so we'll have our gargoyle wait. Our mage doesn't have to wait because he's doing full damage. Boom. And then we will have our gremlins wait. So he can't move nearly as far. We'll put our golems and gremlins in defense, as well as our gargoyles there. And our gargoyles not quite in range to attack, so we will... Let's cast again. Let's bless our mages. So they will do... Oh, we can't take a look. I think they get to do maximum damage when we do that. But we'll have our gargoyles wait. We'll have our mages fire. And they took down 5. Gremlins not in range, so they'll wait. And the golems are in range, but 19 versus 6 isn't something I'd want to do, so I'm going to throw them into a defensive mode. I'm going to throw these guys into defensive mode. And the gargoyles. We are going to take a lightning bolt shot at them to lower their numbers. And we'll wait. We'll have the mages fire one more time. Our blessed mages. Oh, he got close enough. He took out 4 gremlins. The gremlins took out... I didn't actually catch that. But we lost 4 gremlins for 37 pikemen. And then we can take Well, on the next turn, when the horse has a little number below it there, it means that we need that many turns to achieve our goal. So if we, like, wanted to move over here, it might say, no, I guess that's such a short distance that's still only 2 turns. But if it were farther along the map, we might see a 3 or a 4. Okay, so we've built this turn in our castle. We've moved as far as we can, so we end our turn. And on that next turn, we can go up and take the sawmill. And why don't we head back to our castle, where we can build again. This time we can build a golden pavilion. We could build an altar of wishes, but we would need... What don't we have? We don't have 6 crystals. We only have 5. Golden pavilion. So why don't we do that? We'll earn ourselves the ability to make nagas. And we'll buy 2 of those, because that's all we can buy at the moment. Say OK, add them to our army, and be on our merry way. So first let's try and come down here and talk to these goblins. Now, as they're in our same faction, there is actually a small chance they might join us, but we won't find that out until next turn. No such luck. And we are going to definitely need to do some things, like slow them down. And we're just going to put these on defend. We're going to allow him to fire. Only killed 2. We're going to get our nagas down here. So the problem is, she can only move around this ridge. He can go over it because he can fly. We're going to bring our gremlins down. His most likely goal will be the mages, but he may also go for anyone else. Okay, and golems, we'll just bring them up, kind of be in the way. Okay, lost 1 golem for 1 gremlin, and we may as well... Well, let's cast first. So we'll... Oh, we only have 5 spell points left. So I'm going to bless our nagas this time. Okay, and then I'm going to send our own gargoyles in. This isn't going to go well. We lost 2, he lost 2. We're going to fire. He lost 2 more. Now the nagas are going to get their shot. And they took out 4. Our gremlins just don't have anywhere to go, so we'll just bring them in as close as we can. And we'll let our golems punch it out again. And... there we go. So we lost 4 gremlins, 2 gargoyles, and 1 golem for 19 obsidian gargoyles. And then we can access this mercenary camp, where we can get an attack skill. You've come upon a camp of mercenaries practicing their combat tactics. They welcome you and your troops and invite you to train with them +1 attack skill. And here's a windmill, which will grant us resources, 6 gems. And here is a watermill, which should give us gold, 500 gold. And we can build in our castle once more because another day has passed. And we need crystal. This gives us gems. It's day 3. On day 7, we'll get more of our army units to purchase. So while we have money, why don't we go ahead and purchase this upgrade. And we will go ahead and end our turn. As any good ruler would, and you are by far the best in the world, you send out scouts to see what your enemies are trying to do. It is always best to know thy enemy, and you always do what is best. Your scouts are excellent at what they do, and are far better than any others in existence. This will be a quick war, and you will be able to trounce your enemies quite quickly. I wouldn't hold my breath on that. Okay, these are hellhounds, and Cerberi. Anyway, we will need to slow them down, so we will... oh, we're out of spell points, I keep forgetting. So we're really in on this one. Okay. We're going all in. And we'll bring her down here. And we'll bring him down here. These have 3 heads, so they can attack 3 units at once. So it might behoove us to kind of spread out a bit. And they can't be counterattacked. So we'll send this guy up to attack and help the gremlins. And then when she attacks, he'll get to counterattack against both of them. Or maybe not. Okay, well, that's one set of them down. We still can't do any magic, so we'll just march him on up. They're doing a number on our gremlins. And our gargoyles. But, you know, them's the breaks. Okay, so we lost 22 gremlins, 3 gargoyles, and defeated 13 dogs for 325 experience, which gave us a level. So now we can choose Advanced Wisdom, which would allow us to learn 4th level spells, or we could learn Basic Earth Magic, which would allow us to cast Earth spells at a lowered cost. So we'll take that. We also gain +1 attack, and this stone grants us 1,000 experience, so we can take that. We'll get another level. We can get Advanced Ballistics, which would allow us 2 aimed shots with increased damage, or Basic Eagle Eye, giving us a 40% chance to learn any 1st or 2nd level spell used in combat. So if anybody used a spell against us, we would have a 40% chance to learn it. Let's take that. We can go down to the Fairy Ring, gaining luck for our next battle. Luck allows us to do more damage. And yeah, so basically this is a turn-based strategy game. And there are so many factions, so many races. We can have... Let's build ourselves a citadel. This will increase our base creature growth, which means on day 7, well, on day 1, we'll get 50% more creatures than we would have. We'll agree to that. It also gives us more defenses if our town were to be attacked. This basically takes us to the underworld. This little button here lets us switch between the overworld and the underworld. And this is a shipyard. It would allow us to build ships. We can end our turn. So we can build a ship and go out on the water. This is something that might grant us resources. We could come over here, but they would probably eat us alive. If we did destroy them, we might be able to take this castle and have a 2nd castle in our list here. And we can also come down here and explore. So it's a game of exploration and strategic tactical, strategic/tactical turn-based combat. And it is a lot of fun. It's a very cheery, it's a very upbeat game that I really appreciate. It has always been a lot of fun. We could build our castle and have even more creature growth. Might be worth it right now. So we'll go ahead and take that, exit out, and end the turn. Now, like I said, this would take forever if we wanted to actually play through the actual game, so we're not going to do that. This is mainly just to give you a look at a game that you can play right now. Star Axis, you found several of the best astrologers of the land gathered at a Star Axis. Happy to have some company. They teach you how to use the sun, moon, and stars to enhance your spellcasting ability +1 spell power. What we are going to do instead is drop out to the main menu, and we'll lose this game. But what I want to show you is if we, say, pick a new scenario. Let's see advanced options. I want to show you the choices you have here. So castle, these guys are typical knights and archers and paladins and monks, very, kind of normal human with a little bit of fantasy magic tossed in. Rampart is your elves and dwarves and ents and dragons as well. Let's see, tower is what we were just playing. These are kind of the gremlins and gargoyles and the nagas and titans. Inferno is a demonic sort of thing. They have the hellhounds, the dogs we saw, the hellhounds in Cerberus. They have the imps. They also have archdevils and devils. Necropolis, of course, undead. This is, I believe, one of the expansion factions. And they have everything from skeletons and zombies to undead dragons and liches. Dungeon, these guys are pretty cool. They have, let's see, what are those called? Oh man, I don't remember. I know they have dragons and black dragons. They have minotaurs. They have, I think, manticores and chimeras, I think is what they were called. It's been a little while, but a very fun faction to play. Stronghold is your barbarian faction. They have like goblin wolf riders. They have rocks and phoenixes, and and they have, I know they have rocks. That might not be phoenix though. They have like, boy, I don't remember what they're called, but they're kind of like yetis, big giant hulking things and fun units. They also have cyclopses that throw boulders. Fortress is always one that's been near and dear to my heart. Their maximum unit is like a hydra, and they have gorgons, which in this case are like obsidian bulls, and lizard archers, and all kinds of fun things. Conflux, I don't know what a conflux is. This must be an expansion thing. I think it might be elementals though, and then random. And so those are your units. You can pick different heroes to play. It is a very, very lot of game, especially at the moment. It's on sale over at GOG. I think, if I remember right, it's like $3.33 right now. It's a whack load of game for that. But like I said, if you do get it, if you do decide to give it a whirl, make sure that you go to your account thing and download the PDF tutorial to play along with the tutorial, and it will help you very much. Here are the campaigns you get with the complete edition, Shadow of Death. So the first one is Restoration of Arathia, if you want to play them in order, then Armageddon's Blade, then Shadow of Death. And, you can even find folks who've made their own campaigns and play them, or you can make your own, as I do believe the editor, I think the editor came with this. But anyway, so this is just my my look at a game that already exists amidst the flood of games from E3 that we are going to have to wait a while to play. So I was just thinking, boy, there are so many things I'd like to play, but they're not out yet. I thought I'd share some things that I really like to play that are out. Alrighty, folks. I would like to point out that if you look in the upper right-hand corner, you will see a small letter I with a white circle around it. These are cards and links to other videos that I've made. Also, I have a Twitter link in the description of the video and on my channel's main page. If you're on mobile, it'll be on my channel's About page. I would like to thank you guys for being the best community out there. Truly, you guys are awesome, and you make this an absolute joy to do, and I really do want to thank you for that. I would also like to thank you for watching. I hope you found the video informative and maybe just a little entertaining. I would like to invite you to subscribe, like, and to share if you so desire, and to ask you, above all, to please take care.